Welcome back to week 2 of season 2 of Camp4U Summer 2021. We are excited to have you here.
Yes, and last week was a blast.
It was so hot.
So warm. And we are overjoyed to be doing this with you guys again. And even though we are out and about more this summer and connecting with other people, we want you to take Camp4U with you. So all those new friends that you're connecting with this summer, show them Camp4U and let's see how far Camp4U can go. And to set up this week, we have a theme. I love a good theme.
Themes are the best.
Yeah,
Drum roll.
Drum roll. Construction!
That's right, and as you guys know, we have a theme for the whole summer, which is under construction. But we wanted to kind of break it down a little bit, where in a lot of our segments this week, they're going to be tied into a construction theme, whether that's with building stuff or all kinds of different construction stuff. So make sure to be on the lookout for that as the episodes come out.
And we're gonna kick it off with craft time. Building a home for our feathered friends out there. So get your popsicle sticks, your paint, your glue, your markers, your other decorative items, your string, so that you can make a great home. And campfire, we had to go digging and to find anything song-wise that kind of was construction-y, and we found something. So you're gonna have to join us at campfire to sing that song.
Nice. So, before we spin the prize wheel to find out what we're gonna do, give away, we want to remind you guys to join Camp4U for this year. Join the crew on our website, www.sabc.ca, and get on the FaceSpark app. It's a great place to connect and have a lot of fun. You can check out all the episodes there and stream there. It's gonna be awesome. So get on that crew, get a shirt and button and all of the fun that does.
And if you're a Camp4U member already, make sure to watch the videos there as you can interact with us and other crewmates.
Yeah.
So what are we winning?
A burgundy hat!
And we are gonna draw the name of the winner of the burgundy hat on Friday, so stay tuned on Friday to see if you, a Camp4U crew member, won it or not.
Guys, we got a full episode. We forgot to talk about Chapel. We are talking more about under construction at Chapel. Construction everywhere. You know what? Let's get going.
Go.
Let's go.
Woo!
Tribal Melee.
All right, Tribal Melee for today. We are down here at the beach, which normally at the beach, we love to build sandcastles. But today, we are doing anything but a sandcastle competition. So what that means is we are gonna build things that are not sandcastles, and at the very end, Amber is gonna come in, she's my wife, and she is gonna blind judge the structures. There's 3 categories that she's gonna blind judge on. One is design, so what does it look like, and all of that kind of stuff that we toss in, all the kind of special stuff. The design's number 1. Number 2 is details. So she's gonna look at it to make sure it's nice and smooth around the edges, that it's not falling apart, and how detailed our sandcastles, not sandcastles, are. And the last category she's gonna judge us on is a story. So we are all gonna write out a little sentence story explaining what our creations are. So as you can see on the ground, we have this big circle. We have to build our creation inside of that circle, and one part of it just out of sand has to be at least 12 inches tall. So we can't like just put a stick in and it can be 12 inches tall. One part, all sand has to be 12 inches from the ground, and we can use anything that's natural. So we can't use any plastic or anything that we find or have on us for it. It all has to be natural, and we have a couple tools to help us out. So we are gonna get in our spots, and we have 25 minutes to build our creations before they're judged. So yeah, let's get in our spots and let's go.
Woo!
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, Jordan's cheating all the time. But anyways, Josh, idea. What are we gonna do for a sandcastle, not castle?
I think it would be super sick if we built like a hobbit hole.
I thought that we could make the camp. He thought that we could make the fort, like just something, and it's not a castle either of those, so whichever we could make cross hill on the fort.
And the cross hill could be a foot tall.
What are we doing?
Our plan is we found a dead fish.
Yeah.
So we're gonna build a shark, and the fin's gonna be 1 foot tall, and out of the shark's mouth, the fish is gonna be in it.
Oh, I love it. That's a great idea.
I
Shark
just
fin.
came up with it on the spot.
As long as it's like
Sand walls and stuff. As long as it's 12 feet.
I know it's totally sandcastle. Okay, and I think we could do cross hill on top of that.
That's perfect.
But like make a beach and then just have them on the beach.
Yeah, and put some water at the beach.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, shark fin.
All right, what role
eating.
do we have? Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I'll be the runner to the water. Okay.
All right, we don't even need a countdown because we're just building sandcastles. And look at these 3 teams, man. They're going at it so fast. I don't think I've ever seen anybody build a sandcastle this fast, man. That is righteous. Oh, man. Nothing like a day at the beach building sandcastles, am I right? Man, got some great polka dot shorts on the orange team. That's pretty cool. They're building the hill. Looks like the purple team's also building a hill. And I think actually, this is crazy, you guys. They're both building cross hill and they don't even know it. Dude, that's so cool. A green team over here, man. They're just chilling. They're making a shark. That's actually radical. And they even got a dead fish to put in its mouth. That's kind of grody, but also pretty cool. Oh, man. This is crazy. I can't believe how fast they're making these sandcastles. Orange team, they're putting like some little buckets things. I don't know what they call those. I'm not a professional sandcastler, man, but they got a cool decoration on the outside of their cross hill hobbit hole combo. And we got purple team building a scale model of the entire camp out of sand. That's pretty cool. Like you see, they're putting water there to make the lake. All right.
Okay, so we have finished building our sand knot castles, and Amber is here to be our judge, and this is the first time she's getting a look at it. Jamie is here. He's going to read each of the stories that go with our sand knot castles, and then Amber's going to share her thoughts and her judgment based on design, detail, and our stories. So take it away, guys. I'm going to get out of the way.
The day after the night that Cross Hill got struck by lightning. All who were at the camp the night the huge storm rolled in will remember it as a majestic storm. The lodge was rushed from their rooms, while the campers in the cabins slept were left in peace. All was well except 2 places were struck. The lodge, which the alarm was raised, and the cross on the Cross Hill. The cross remained standing all summer, a testament to God's faithfulness. There is a great kept secret here at SABC, and it is that there is a deer hobbit that lives beneath Cross Hill. The greatest joy of his existence is that cabin leaders and campers journey up Cross Hill, and as they do, they meet Jesus. It's a place where grass grows and sunsets are seen and stories are told, and Ned the Hobbit hears and blesses each one, celebrating the life's changes on his blessed hill he calls home. We decided to forever immortalize in sand one of the most pivotal moments of our childhoods, one of the most important and history-changing events of the 2000s, the death of Nemo's mother, which kick-started the adventures of the century. We would like to designate May 12th as International Nemo's Mom's Day in honor of her sacrifice for the betterment of animation as well as entertainment in general. Let us all take a moment to say the shark affirmation. Fish are friends, not food.
All right, that was so much fun, and these are amazing sand knot castles. So, in 3rd place, we have this one. It's absolutely amazing. The design is perfect. The story was a little bit morbid, but the fish, the real life, well, it's not alive anymore, but the real fish was a very good touch. Yeah, just the story was a little bit more morbid as a mom, so that is why they're 3rd. 42 out of 50. Good job, Team Green! I just want to know, where did you find the fish?
I found it over there and brought it over.
That's very cool. Very awesome. All right. Now, in 2nd place, we have this one. This is 2nd place. Again, it's an amazing design. Like, the lake is perfect. The the hill, like the little logs are very, very cool. The story was good too. But yeah, I just thought maybe they could do more sandcastle-y things instead of just drawing out things. But yes, so this is second place with a total of 43 points. Woo! Yeah! Very awesome, you guys.
Thanks, Amber.
And in first place, we have this one. It's very clean, and there's lots of different like little sandcastle things, which is very cool. And the story was very unique and very, very fun. Yeah, so that is why this one got first place with a total of 44. So there was only a difference of 2 points between last and first. Good job, guys!
Thank you. All right, well, that was really fun, and we are gonna head to the fort to update Tribal Melee scores. This was an amazing way to spend the day in the sun. So we'll see you at the fort.
Guys, that was wild. Sandcastles. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, your wife was a little bit
Not partial enough.
awesome, but she didn't know whose they were.
It's true. I should have slipped her a note or something. But anywho, we are here. We're updating. So we're gonna start the Bearded Ladies. We had a third place finish, and our total now is 2,063. Crazy. Hey, look at that. Pretty good. We're going over up the creek. Sorry, Charlie. You want to announce what your score is? Up the creek, they have 2,321 now. Woo! All right, that's pretty good. And Caffeinated Caramels, they snuck this one out. And their score going up 2,560. Ooh, guys.
Nice. We got some amazing teams, good teamwork, lots of fun.
It's real tight.
It's gonna be a hot summer of score making.
That was so much fun.
Craft time.
Hi guys, I'm Tori and I'm here with my friend Nathan.
Hi guys.
And we're going to teach you how to build a birdhouse today. Nathan, have you built a birdhouse before?
I haven't, but I'm super excited to learn.
Awesome, and I'm super excited to teach you guys. Perfect. So first with building a birdhouse, you gotta get your supplies. So we have our popsicle sticks, which is gonna be the gist of the birdhouse. And then we have our glue. I'm using hot glue today. If you don't have a hot glue gun, don't worry too much about it. The one that I built in front of us right now, I actually used the white Elmer's glue. It just takes a little bit longer to dry, so you have to have a little bit more patience. Also with popsicle sticks, you can use pre-colored ones like Nathan has, you can use plain ones like I have and then paint them later, or you can just leave it unpainted. Yeah, and then you can add string afterwards to hang it on a tree or a fence or whatever you'd like to after. Oh, if you're using hot glue, make sure that you have something underneath your hot glue gun just so it doesn't get too messy. Other than that, I think we're ready to start.
Woohoo!
So the first step is the foundation. And so you want to make a square with your popsicle sticks. So you want to have 2 one way and 2 the other way to make a square like that. So you just want to put a little dab, like the smallest little dab of glue on each corner here. Perfect. And then you just want to do the same with the other side. Perfect. Good job, Nathan.
Thank you.
Okay, so then it's gonna look like this. There's little strings hanging off from your hot glue, that's fine. So it's gonna be a square, and then you want to add 2 more popsicle sticks to the side just like you did before. So it's kind of like crisscross, if that makes sense for you guys. Yeah, and you pretty much just keep adding that until you get, I want to say like 6 popsicle sticks up, and then we'll move on to the next part. Okay guys, now that Nathan is just finishing up the rest of your foundation of your birdhouse, as you can see, Mine there's no hole, because where would the seed go if there was just empty? So we're going to be layering the popsicle sticks just on top of your other ones to make a bottom, because then we're just gonna flip it over afterwards. Perfect. And this is what the base or the foundation of your birdhouse should look like. Perfect. So just like before, we're just gonna have 2 sticks like this lined up, and you're gonna make a square again. And then you're just gonna line up the sticks. Perfect. After you're done the one of them, this part's easy. You just make a second one, exactly the same. So, guys, see that we have 2 sides to our roof. Now, all you're gonna do is take this side. So there's gonna be, when you have your foundation, a side that's higher than the other one. That's what you're gonna use to place your roof onto, just so that it has a little bit more stability. And then you just wanna glue the one end all the way down, and then stick it. And then you do the same to the other side. That might take a little bit just to stay still. Then you want to glue the top of it together. Just hold that together. Remember, if you're using hot glue gun, just be very careful not to burn your fingers, because it doesn't feel very good. Perfect. At that point, you should have a little triangle going on here. And then this doesn't really make a difference with the stability or the structure or anything, but I put a little popsicle stick on top just to make it look a little nicer. So now that we have this, some people may be asking, where is the bird gonna stand? Well, as you see in mine, I have 2 popsicle sticks sticking out either end for the bird to stand on.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming for some get down, get funky, get loose.
Hey guys, stand up. We're gonna get down, get funky, and get loose. Are you guys ready? Yeah! All right, so we're gonna do some opposite knee drives. So opposite hand, opposite foot. We're gonna do the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other arm. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. Now we're using triangle toe touches. So opposite hand, opposite foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're doing it. Now we're gonna do some crunchy toes. Put your feet up and arms and touch the toes with a crunchy. 2, 4, 10. We're done.
Okay, you guys, now we're going to do some Superman. 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now we're gonna run on the spot for 10 seconds. On your mark and set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And we're gonna end off with some hopscotch. Out, together, out. 1, 1, together. 1, 1, together. 1, 1, together. We're done.
That's where you just take 1 popsicle stick and just stick it. Make sure to not stick it on the side with the roof here, because then the bird can't eat. So you gotta stick it in the opening here. And you just wanna glue it in there. And you want to have it sticking out probably about like this much, or even a little bit more, just so that even big birds can come enjoy your birdhouse. And then after that's all dry, don't rush it if you're using white glue, or even like if your hot glue's not dry yet. We're gonna take string, probably like, I don't know how many feet this is. Is that like 2 feet? 2.5 feet? Probably about 2.5 feet long or so, just long enough for you to string it inside your birdhouse, just like this. And then you just want to tie it in the bow. And there you have it. You have a birdhouse. And remember, if you used plain popsicle sticks or even colored ones, if you want to paint them after and make it your own, that's awesome. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Did you have fun, Nathan?
I had a lot of fun too.
Perfect. And we really, really, really want to see your guys' creations too. So don't forget to send them in. Yeah, we'll see you next time on Craft Time. This is great.
Bye, guys.
Campfire Sing-Along.
Hi everybody, welcome to Campfire for tonight. We're here and we're so excited to lead you in a song, right guys? Yeah! So first we're gonna do the Button Factory song. Okay, get ready. Okay. Hey, my name is Joe. Hi Joe. And I work in a button factory. I've got a wife, woo! 2 kids and a dog, woof! One day, my boss said to me, he said, Joe man, are you busy man? I said, no man. He said, push this button with your right hand. I said, boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka hey man. My name is Joe. Hi Joe. And I work in a button factory. I've got a wife, woo! 2 kids and a dog, woof! One day, my boss said to me, he said, Joe man, are you busy man? I said, no man. He said, push this button with your left hand. I said, boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka hey. My name is Joe. Hi Joe. And I work in a button factory. I've got a wife, woo! 2 kids and a dog, woof! One day, my boss said to me, he says, Joe man, are you busy man? I said, no man. He said, push this button with your right foot. I said, boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka hey. My name is Joe. Hi Joe. And I work in a button factory. I got a wife, woo! 2 kids and a dog, woof! One day, my boss said to me, he said, Joe man, are you busy man? I said, no man. He said, push this button with your left foot. I said, boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka hey. My name is Joe. Hi Joe. And I work in a button factory. I got a wife, woo! 2 kids and a dog, woof! One day, my boss said to me, he said, Joe man, are you busy man? I said, no man. He said, push this button with your head. I said, boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka hey. My name is Joe. Hi Joe. And I work in a button factory. I got a wife, woo! 2 kids and a dog, woof! One day, my boss said to me, he said, Joe man, are you busy man? I said, no man. He said, push this button with your tongue. I said, hey, my name is Joe. And I work in a button factory. I got a wife, woo! 2 kids and a dog. One day, my boss said to me, he said, Joe man, are you busy man? I said, yes! Oh my gosh. Wow. That got the heart rate up, didn't it?
The heart rate up.
Yeah.
Well, for our second song, this is gonna be a repeat after me song.
This is a repeat after me song.
Sitting on my fence post, chewing my bubble gum.
Sitting on my fence post, chewing my bubble gum.
Pop my gum like whoop whoop.
Pop my gum like whoop whoop.
Oh shoot, I forgot.
When along came Herman the worm. When along came Herman the worm.
And he was this big.
And he was this big.
And I said, Herman, how'd you get so big, brother?
And I said, Herman, how'd you get so big, brother?
He said, I ate a whole apple.
He said, I ate a whole apple.
Sitting on a fence post, chewing my bubble gum.
Sitting on a fence post, chewing my bubble gum.
Pop my gum like whoop whoop.
Pop my gum like whoop whoop.
When along came Herman the worm.
When along came Herman the worm.
And he was like this big.
And he was like this big.
And I was like, Herman, how'd you get so big, brother?
And I was like, Herman, how'd you get so big, brother?
He said, I ate a whole pizza.
He said, I ate a whole pizza.
Sitting on a fence post, chewing my gobble gum.
Sitting on a fence post, chewing my bubble gum.
Pop my gum like whoop, whoop.
Pop my gum like woo, woo.
When along came Herman the worm.
When along came Herman the worm.
And he was like this big.
And he was like this big.
And I said, Herman, how'd you get so big, brother?
And I was like, Herman, how'd you get so big, brother?
And he was like, I ate a whole moon.
And he said, I ate a whole moon.
Sitting on my fence post, chewing my bubble gum.
Sitting on the fence post, chewing my bubble gum.
Pop my gum like whoop, whoop.
Pop my gum like woo, woo.
When along came Herman the worm.
When along came Herman the worm.
And he was like this little.
And he was like this little.
And I was like, Herman, how'd you get so small, brother?
And I was like, Herman, how'd you get so small, brother?
And he was like, I burped.
And he was like,
I burped.
good job. Amazing.
Well, that was a lot of fun. I think we're gonna go to chapel time now.
Yeah.
Let's go. Woo.
Chapel.
Hey everybody, welcome to Chapel, week 2 of season 2 of Camp4U. That's so fun to say, but we are really excited that you guys are back with us. And we're already in week 2, and we're gonna talk about some really cool stuff this week about being under construction. Now, the end of last week, we talked about learning memory verses, right? And you guys know that we love to learn memory verses here at camp. And so maybe you guys tried some of the ways that I mentioned last week and talked about them on the FaceSpark app, like learning the song that we taught you guys. That's a fun way, writing it out or drawing a picture of the memory verse to help you remember it. But another piece to learning the words is learning where they are in the Bible. So you can learn, or you can read the Bible on your phone or on a tablet or even on a screen at church. But you can also read it right in the book that we can touch and feel with our hands. So it sure helps me to remember that a Bible, this Bible, is a big book full of little books, full of little stories that tell the big story about God when I actually hold the book in my hands. And so if you guys don't have a Bible, we would love to send you one. If you do have a Bible, I need you to go grab it right now. Ready? Okay, go. I'll wait. I'll wait right here. Okay. Are you back? Perfect. Okay, here we go, because we need our Bibles today because we're going to do a sword drill.
Sword drill.
And that is a super fun way to memorize the book or memorize the verse, but also know where it's found in the Bible so that maybe if you can't quite remember and you want to read the rest of the story, you can find it. And now maybe you're wondering, what am I even talking about? What is a sword drill? Well, God's word, the Bible, is sometimes called a sword. And so a sword drill, if you were somebody who used a sword in a sport, a sword drill is an exercise done to improve your sword fighting skills. And so it builds muscles and helps you grow. And that's just like a sword drill that we do with our Bible. It helps us remember, it helps us learn, it grows our muscle memory of remembering where our verses are. And so we're going to have some fun racing to find our memory verse. And so it's going to build our knowledge as to where it's found and how to move around in our Bible to find the stories that we talk about. And it's a little bit of a race to see who can find it first. Okay, and so here's how it works. We hold our Bibles up with our spine at the bottom, and then I give you the name of the book that it's in, the chapter and the verse, and then I say charge or go, and then everybody can bring their Bibles down at the same time, and we race to find the verse at the same time, or see who gets it first, okay? Now, I guess because I'm sort of here by myself, I'm gonna win the race that I'm doing. But if you are home and watching it with friends or a brother or sister or your mom and dad, let's see who finds it first, and make sure you let us know how fast you were. Okay, are you guys ready? Now, you probably know the verse because we've been practicing it, but we're gonna find it where it is in the Bible. So here we go, Bibles up, swords up. Matthew 7 verse 24. And now you guys say, Matthew 7 verse 24, and I say, go. And we all raced to find Matthew. Remember, it was in the back part of the Bible in the New Testament. Oh my goodness, you guys must have found it already. You guys are so fast. I got it. Put your finger on the verse. There we go. Perfect. Matthew 7, verse 24. And now we can read it all together from our Bibles, and then we're going to practice it without looking with our actions. You guys ready? Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. Matthew 7, verse 24. Awesome. Well done. Okay, let's see if we can remember the actions. Everyone who hears these words of mine and does them is like a wise man who built his house upon a rock. Matthew 7, verse 24. Whew! I hope you guys had those actions better than I did, but that was pretty good. And you guys were really fast, I'm sure, at the sword drill. So that is so good. So again, this verse is all about hearing and listening and learning, and then following the instructions of the best way. Even when the days are hard, or the rain comes, or there's a storm, or we don't really always understand what's happening, we can trust God and build on God, and we're going to be okay. So remember last week when I mentioned the Old and the New Testament, and then this Matthew 7 verse 24 is in the New Testament? Well, we're going to talk about a cool story about building that happens in the Old Testament. So way back before Jesus was here. And so we're going to move pretty close to the front of our Bibles. And we're going to talk about a guy named King Solomon. So King Solomon was a very wise man who lived in the Bible times, and he was a king during a very, very special time. It was a time of construction, of building something very important, actually a number of very important buildings. In the book, 1 Kings, there's actually two books called the Kings, but this one's 1 Kings and 2 Kings, but we're going to go to 1 Kings. So you're going to go about this far into your Bible. So I'll give you a few minutes to flip there if you want to. You can just listen. King Solomon's story is found kind of in the early part of the Bible. 1 King chapter 6 and 7 and 8 talks about all of the walls and the curtains and the sizes and the shapes and the dimensions and all the stuff and the types of wood. It was super duper specific. That's actually 3 whole chapters, like 6, 7, 8. All of those words are all about the details of the buildings that were part of King Solomon's time. That is a lot of information, right? Now, have you ever built something that has lots and lots of information? We have talked a little bit about Lego already. Did you ever get a Lego kit, like a box that's supposed to build something specific, right? And then you get a book, right? A book of instructions. And I have a bunch of them here. Here's one with a city construction. It's got like a tow truck and some motorcycles. Here's a big log carrier. Ooh, what was one behind? Ooh, another. Ooh, a driller vehicle, and then some fun house building ones, which is really cool. And so this one is a really big one about a spaceship and a rocket and a carrier, and it's really cool. And it has so many instructions, right? Every page has something different on it. This one, you think, oh, I can build a house out of Lego, but it shows all of the details, right? Where does the yellow one go? And then there's a gray one. Oh, there's one little red one. How important can that red one actually be? Oh, now we've changed colors. We're building the corner, right? The foundation and the cornerstone, the block that goes in the corner of a building, really important, right? Helps us make things square, knows where the house starts and stops. And all of a sudden, we're getting to how to build the door and the extra part of the house. So many details, right? Now, King Solomon got even more details than you need to build a truck and a rocket or a digger or a house in a lot of Lego. He was building a very specific and special building for a very specific and special reason. It was a temple, which is just a fancy word for a church. Okay, so King Solomon God has asked him to build him a church. So in these days, long ago, God wanted to have a relationship with people. And honestly, you guys, that is the same for today. God wants to have a relationship with you and me today, too. But the relationship that he was hoping to have with the people with King Solomon was kind of involved this church that Solomon was being asked to build. So he gave King Solomon all of these instructions and details to create where God could meet with them, to be with them, to kind of have a space that was just for them to be together. And it was a very, very important building in this time. There was, so some of the details that they were asked, it wasn't like Lego blocks where it was like 2 black ones and 1 red one and a yellow one. There needed to be cedar planks, so special kind of wood with a special kind of length, cut to a very specific size. There was doors made of a special wood called juniper. There was special fabrics that were supposed to be woven in a certain way, of certain colors, of certain lengths, and flowers and palm trees, and so much sparkly gold. It was so amazing how many instructions that God gave King Solomon to give to the people to build this place where they were going to get together. It was a fantastic building. It was shiny and big and perfect, and everything was comfy, and it was special, and everything was done according to all of the instructions that this building was supposed to be. So many rooms, and it was so big. Can you imagine building something with that much detail? Because you know how long it took them to build this church, this temple? 7 years. Can you imagine getting a Lego instruction that would take you 7 years to build? That is amazing. But so God had given them instructions that took them 7 years. That is a lot of details. So when the church, this temple, was done, and during King talk to and learn about God here in this place, and God told them something very important about it. So this beautiful, fantastic, specific, so many detailed building, and it was perfect, even though it was so amazing, that it was just that. It was just a building. If God was not the reason for going there and being there, if they were there just because they built it, if they were there just to look at all of the fancy stuff that they did, if they were there just to prove that they could follow instructions, and that if having a friendship and obeying God was not the most important thing of their lives and being there, then all of those details and that building, that church, was kind of a waste of time. Okay, so that seems sort of strange, right? Like God tells them to build it with all of those beautiful things and all of the special instructions, so many details that seem so important, and then he tells them that maybe it's not that important. But you guys, what God is actually telling them that kind of helped clear up the confusion was that he is the most important, and that this place, this church, this temple, was simply a place to remind them of that, a place to be with him, and for them to grow in knowing him, that it was sort of a reflection of how amazing he is. And so that probably felt a little bit confusing for them to have so much importance put on all those details. But it was a reminder that he is the most important thing. Okay, so I have a thought. I think that maybe if we jump all the way over to the New Testament again, to see if this can make sense even after King Solomon's time, right? It's this big book and this big story that kind of all ties together. Let's check it out. We are going to jump to 1 Timothy, and that is almost at the very back. 1 Timothy 5. It is about a really amazing guy named Paul, and we're actually going to hear his story next week with a special friend of mine. No spoilers for you right now. And he describes the church as people who love God and do whatever it takes to help others, and that it isn't just a place. So Paul also talks about the church not being about just the building, right? He talks about it being the people and about having a relationship with God and loving God and being loved by God. So that's a pretty cool thing that at the very beginning of the Bible and towards the end of the Bible, it's telling us the same thing about our church, right? Now, I go to a church on Sundays oftentimes, and probably lots of you guys do too. Not everybody does, but probably some of you guys do, or you have a friend or a cousin or a grandma that does. And maybe your church is simple, or it's in a house, or it's been online this year with COVID, or it's fancy with all sorts of colorful windows. And these really are special places. So there's no problem with going to church. It's actually a pretty amazing thing to do and quite important. But like Solomon's temple, these places aren't actually what it's all about. It's about having a friendship with God. It's about knowing that God loves you and that he wants to forgive you and help you grow in knowing him. And so we have a good place to go to help remind us of that. And that is what the church is. And that is what Solomon was building for his time. And that's what it means that people are the church. That God loves us, is always with us, and that we are kind of like beautiful churches walking all around because he built us with so much detail and so much care and so much importance and instructions. We are special, special, special to God, each and every one of us. So one way that I can remember that is that when I think about a friend who lives in a different house than me, maybe even in a different city, and when I think about getting together or connecting or chatting with them, it doesn't have to be in their house, right? It can be anywhere, and we have learned that so much this year. So maybe I even like going to their house. I really like their room when I get to go and play there with them. Maybe it's a big and fancy house, our friend's house. Maybe it's simple or small, or it's even on wheels. I have a friend whose house is on wheels. That's pretty fun. But it doesn't really matter because what actually matters is my friend. So even when I get to go to their house and be with my friend, I'm not there to be with the wall or their toys even, or their books or their couch or their house. I want to be with them. And we also know so well is that going to their house isn't the only way that we can be with our friend or get to know them more, right? I don't really want to just go to their house if they're not there. I don't. I like to be with my friends. So that's sort of how I sometimes remember when I think about the church, that the church isn't the only place that we go to spend time with God. He's with us always, which is even way cooler than when we have to wait to see our friends. Okay, so let's go all the way back to Solomon. We are almost done. So Solomon built this big, beautiful building, this church, and we can go to church and learn, and yet actually as people, we, you, me, we are the church, and that is cool. And I guess that helps me understand a little bit more about what it means to be under construction. That we can build cool places and get together. We can make camp totally awesome and build a brand new building and build cool stuff to play on. But the most important thing is to build my life, my house, this person, everything that I do on these things that I learn, and continue to build my relationship on God, with God, and that he is going to actually build some cool stuff in me. So our verse talks about building our house. And that isn't about building an actual house. Like I don't build a house on top of myself that I carry around kind of like a turtle or a snail. But our house is our everyday walking around life. And that we have that built on God and his promises and this amazing book full of awesome stories and teachings and promises that he has for us. So as we finish up, let's do our memory verse one more time. Here we go. It's Matthew 7, verse 24. Everyone who hears these words of mine and does them is like a wise man who builds his house upon a rock. Matthew 7, verse 24. Great job, you guys. Send those memory verses in, and we will see you guys on Friday. Okay, whoa, that was so fun, you guys. Oh.
So much fun. I kind of like this construction theme. Maybe we should keep it around all summer.
You know, I think we will be in our chapels keeping this construction theme all summer. And we will find out what we're going to do more of this week in our Random Wednesday episode on Wednesday.
But today's Monday, which means we have challenges for you guys. And the challenges we want for you guys to send in to be in the highlight video at the end of the week is to build a birdhouse just like the ones that you guys learned how to do earlier in the video and that you made with Norton and Terry today.
Or another names, Tori and
I'll get this one.
Nathan.
Tori and Nathan did the birdhouse building, and so you could send that in with us. And last week we did a baking challenge on Friday, and so if you happen to do some baking, or you're like, oh yeah, I want to get in on that, you could still do that and send us what you made.
Exactly. As well as speaking about last week, in Tanya's chapel with Christy, they talked about building Lego. And so if you want to send in pictures of Lego that you're able to build, whether it's with instructions or without instructions, you can do that also.
Nice. Hey, we will see you on Wednesday.